Well, hello everyone. My name is Scott Morris. I am the GTS board game guy. We're here with another one of our retailer to publisher webinars, and I'm very happy to be joined by my good friend Tom Wetzel. Tom is the brains and the looks behind Thames and Kosmos. We're going to be talking about several different things from Thames and Kosmos today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I'm really happy and excited that you're here because Thames and Kosmos is one of our biggest partners. They're one of our best-selling partners in the board game side. And you'll more than likely see why if you don't know already from all the things that we're going to talk about. Thames and Kosmos has a wide array of games in a couple of different lines that have been very, very successful, and we'll talk about those. You may see some of them over my shoulder here at the exit series that I have on my counter here. But we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We're going to talk about some exit stuff. We're going to talk about some board game stuff. We're going to talk about some all cool things. So if you are here live and in living color, as they say, or live on pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, you can open up your chat window at the bottom and you can ask a question to either the host and the panelists, which are basically me and Tom, or you can ask a question to everyone. There's a little drop down for that. As usual, Tom, you don't have to worry about that. I'll kind of manage that and work questions in as we go along. If you are watching this recorded on YouTube, by all means, please give us a like, go ahead and subscribe, and then really leave a comment down below. We'll be happy to answer any kind of questions you have throughout that time as well. But retailers who are here live, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Retailers who are watching this recorded, also thank you for taking the time to join us, even though it may not have been live. Appreciate you guys checking things out. Tom, I don't want to steal any of your thunder because we just talked with the sales reps on Friday, and I know a majority of what you're going to talk about, and it's all really good stuff. So I'm going to take my face it was made for radio and let it be quiet and let you do all the talking, okay?
Thanks, Scott. And thanks all you retailers who are here with me or joining us later. Same as Scott said, really appreciate your time. I'm going to share my screen because I created a little PowerPoint to share with everybody. We're just going to go over some of our later 2021 game releases, 3 specifically today. But before I introduce those, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how we think about Kosmos games, and hopefully you do as well. Now, Kosmos games are just top quality, and we have a history of top quality that you can trust. So 50 plus years of board game publishing experience. We've been in it for a long time, so we know what we're doing. Some of the reasons that they're top quality and the reasons those 50 years have proved very valuable is the materials, the components, things like that. We know how important those are to board games. So those are just never a question. With Kosmos games, it's always going to be top quality. We are lucky to have great relations with a lot of the best authors, designers, illustrators, editors, all of the best in the business. We're lucky to get to work with them. Customer support. I started working with this company in customer support. I take it very serious. I still do a lot of customer support, specifically with the board game stuff. People just on Friday, like 5 o'clock on Fridays, I was about to leave. I got an email from someone asking me for help on one of our adventure games because they couldn't figure out how to finish out this one chapter. I was happy to stick around and kind of walk them through a little bit and get them on their way. And they had a great time. So, and it's rewarding. I like it. We have top brands within the Kosmos company. We have exit games, we have adventure games, The Crew, Lost Cities, My City, Drop It, Andor. I mean, the list goes on and on. But we really have some great titles. So, and then I'm also going to let you guys know of something we're doing that's new. It's it's kind of like a download section on our webpage, and in that download section, you'll get some basically marketing material, including a 1-page demo sheet that'll get you started really quick demoing a game. Also some shelf talkers, high-res images, things like that, anything you might need. All right, so these are the 3 games that we're going to talk about briefly each one. I'm very excited about each one, and I'll kind of explain why as we dive into each game. But we have Robin Hood, recent Spiel nominated game, Adventure Games, which is part of the series, a successful series of games that we already published, and then Fangs, which is our newest social deduction game. Actually, it's the first one that we've published since we started going direct to the States. So it's kind of exciting for me. in that way. So let's talk about Robin Hood. Like I mentioned, it was nominated for the 2021 Spiel des Jahres, which is huge. Chances are, if you're a board game retailer, you know about that award, but if you don't, it's a huge deal. It is like the Emmys, the Oscars, the Grammys, like all of those combined of the board game world. So even a nomination is a really big deal. So we're very happy to get that nomination, and we're starting to see reviews coming out in English, and we're seeing that nomination was warranted for a lot of reasons, but mostly because it's actually a family weight game. This is a very approachable, accessible game. It's a big box, and it comes with a book, which, yeah, I'll get more into that here. Let's see. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So it's designed and illustrated by Michael Wetzel. He's the designer and illustrator of the Legends of Andor series. He's super popular. He's got a lot of very loyal fans, and obviously he does beautiful, great work. So he's got a good history already. And a lot of people are just excited about his new game, so that's nice. Similar to Legends of Andor, this has a quick start playing guide. You don't have to read through rules. It has a like accompanying rule book, but you don't even have to read that. You can kind of get started in about 10 minutes or less, because it has this really quick start guide, and it teaches you the game as you're playing. I know that a lot of like video games kind of do that thing where it's like, here's how you move, and then all of a sudden, as you explore things, you'll figure out how the game plays, and it kind of teaches you as you go. I think that's really slick. So it's a nice little selling point. It comes with a fully interactive board, and I'll kind of touch on that a little bit more when I show another picture, but the board is interactive, which is cool. It also comes with a 216-page faux leather book, and this is kind of the backbone of the game, because it's a role-playing like game. I'm not going to say it's a role-playing game because you don't have a dungeon master or anything like that. And again, it's a very accessible game. So, but yeah, it kind of has a role-play part to it, and there's some reading. The book is where that comes into play. And then Robin Hood, I mean, I just can't believe how many times I see people excited about this game just because it's Robin Hood. It's a very popular story for a lot of people, so there's going to be some devoted fans just right from the get-go.
And Tom, I wanted to jump in real quick in case, just on the off chance that any of our retailers who are here, anybody who's watching, is not familiar with the impact of the SDJ. Winning the SDJ is a very, very big thing in the industry and produces a massive amount of print runs right after that. I've seen some publishers have as high as 40 and 50,000 unit print runs, and we're talking mid-sized publishers winning that game and having gigantic numbers being brought up. And being nominated is also a tremendously good thing, because that puts it in the realm of this game is good enough to win based on the criteria and what SDJ judges the games on. And I always kind of joke with Tom a little bit that Kosmos seems to have a hook on the SDJs, because it feels like every year there's something that's nominated for them, if not winning, kind of like the crew did last year. So there's a lot of things that are, go into that. And I just want to make sure that everyone understands the importance of that. This is a game that hasn't come out yet in the US, but we're looking forward to it coming out. And like Tom said, there's quite a bit to this, both from a pedigree perspective, but also from a, what's in the box perspective.
Yeah, and just, I guess, a little bit more on that, kind of behind the curtain. It does make a big difference getting that nomination. Because shipping has been really strange this year, we had really big shipment orders for all of our games, including Robin Hood, because we knew if we were going to get it, we weren't going to get it a second time. So we put in these huge orders, and then Robin Hood got nominated, and we just sold out of that order in days. So we've since tripled that original order. That already big order has been tripled. And so we were lucky enough that we could do that. So we're excited that hopefully that'll last us through the holidays, but I'm not so sure. We'll see. Here's some basic information about it. 2 to 4 players, ages 10 and up. It really is a family game. 10 up, I mean, if you're a board gamer family, you could take that down even lower, because it's a cooperative game and you're all helping each other. So 60 to 90 minutes is about right for each game. It's one of the more expensive games that we offer, but the reason is there's a lot of content here. And that board that you see, it's actually double layered. And it's double layered because there are pieces in there that you can interact with. You flip them over and it reveals something new. Depending on the storyline, it's depending on which page you are in the book, that character or that building or that whatever you're interacting with will have a different effect. It's really clever, but it's also very simple. You can see the book in the background there too. It's a beautiful book. It's really cool. Yeah, you can also see the pieces there at the bottom, the green and blue pieces. Those are your player pieces. It's kind of an open board. You can go anywhere you want, and you use those as little measuring devices to move around the board. So if you're the green player, that's Robin Hood. You have a little standee, and if you want to move around to the other side of the board, you can do that by placing your little meeples in a row to tell you how far you can travel on that one turn. And the next turn you can go again. It's very clever, very fun. Yeah, so MSRP $59.95, available mid-October.
I have to admit something that I just noticed on that last slide. Very, very cool of you to give credit to the BGG person who put the photo on there. You'd be surprised how many people don't do small little details like that. So that says quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give him credit. I have the game, but I like it when other people take photos. They're better at it than me. And also,
there you go.
It's nice to show that there's already a lot of fans out there. All right, so let's talk about the adventure games. The Grand Hotel Abaddon. This is the latest addition to our very popular adventure game series. Last year, during the pandemic, we got a really great review from Shut Up and Sit Down, and that really kickstarted this game for us. We've seen the sales just continue to climb since that review. And it's interesting, you don't know what, how the magic works, like what games hit and which games don't. It's hard to say, but a review from a very positive review from a very popular reviewer definitely helps, and it helped with this one a lot. So, and this is the newest one to that series. It's kind of a choose your own adventure game. It's interactive, and each character has their own character. Each player has their own character that they control, which is one of the things I really like about this over some similar games. So it's cooperative, you're working together, but I can go off and do my own little side mission if I want. And I like that. I like being in control of my own character. That's what I just said, yeah. So the game contains 3 chapters, and you're gonna wanna play those in order, but you can play them multiple times because there's multiple endings. You probably wouldn't want to play it more than 6 times each, I would say, because after that you've figured out all the endings. However, I've played the first one that came out, The Dungeon. I've played that countless times just because I enjoy playing it with other people and watching them interact with the game. Even though I know the ending, it's still fun. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of replayability with these games. Designed by Matthew Dunstan, huge board game designer. Phil Walker-Harding, another huge designer. And Oot Wheatland, I can't say his name. He's new to the design world, but he did a great job in handling a lot of the, this is the storyline in this one is a spooky hotel, or potentially, you don't know, I'm not gonna give it away, but there might be ghosts. It's really a great storyline, and he contributed that a lot to that part. Here's some statistics again about the Grand Hotel Abaddon. Again, it plays 1 to 4. That review that we got for this game from Shut Up and Sit Down was about solo play. So I want to make sure that people know this is definitely a game that you can play solo or you can play with 4 people.
So Julio has a really, really good question. So Julio is in South America. He wanted to know if the games may be available in Spanish through Devere down there.
Most of the games that we make are also available in Spanish through Devere. Especially the games that we're talking about today are kind of the high profile games for us. So they should all be available in Spanish.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, good question. Thanks. Ages 12 and up. Again, if you're a gamer family, that age could go down quite a bit because this is cooperative. The playtime on this, they're 90 minutes each chapter, and there's 3 chapters. That's why I've got that weird language there. But you can, like I said, play it again and again. MSRP is $19.95, and this one's going to be available in early September, so very soon.
So Julio just corrected me. It's Central America, not South America. That is true. I'm sorry. It's good catch. There was a comment by Derek in chat saying that he's having some problems copying and pasting the text in the chat window. If anyone has an issue with that, please do let me know. So sorry you're having that issue, Derek. It shouldn't be that way. I'm not too sure why it's doing that. And I can actually like right click and copy or select all and things like that in the chat bubble. So I'm not too sure what that is. I'll look into it though. One thing I wanted to point out about the box for the adventure games, if you are a retailer that has the floor display of the exit displays, the boxes are the exact same size. So I've seen retailers where they'll have like the adventure games on one shelf and then the exit games on another shelf or anything like that. So you can restock these into that same floor stand. And we did just recently restock some of those floor stands in our St. Louis, Missouri warehouse. So if you're in need of those, let us know. We can get you them. They're very sharp and they look really good for this line of games.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Yeah, I love those floor stands. And you're right. These are the same. We call them fun size boxes. They're about 7 inches tall. Yeah, these will fit in there perfectly. And a lot of people will comment on how the adventure game box looks a lot like the game box, and that is intentional. We know that the exit games are super popular, so when we introduced this adventure games, we wanted to kind of let people know that this is a similar game. It's not entirely the same, hence the different name, but they are similar enough that I think you're going to capture a lot of that same audience. So yeah, put this in with your exit game display, absolutely.
Yep.
This is also a fun size box size, that 7-inch box. But this is the social deduction game that we're coming out with this year, which I am very excited about. I think that the cover alone makes me laugh every single time. It's kind of tongue in cheek. It's supposed to be that way. So this is a social deduction party game, but it actually has strategy, a little role playing, and also some luck involved with this game. There are 20 characters and 3 factions and 4 rule variants. So there's a lot of variety in this game, but there's also just like so much more. Like I love social deduction games. I think that this game, it's like some other deduction games, but it just offers you more of everything. Like there's more characters to choose from. Each character has a special unique ability. There's 3 factions. So instead of just the good guys and the bad guys, there's vampires, there's werewolves, and there's humans. So you have 3 different factions all kind of trying to figure each other out. And then the rules variants are fun too. But that's kind of like just like different ways of playing the same game. Oh yeah, so this one is this is really cool. Each character, like I said, has unique abilities, but they also have unique win conditions, which is fun because you can be playing and all of a sudden someone could say, "Oh, I just won because so and so did this," and then I win. Like they're very unique. Like one of them, if you're a werewolf and you get rid of all the vampires, you win. If you're a vampire, you get rid of all the other werewolves, you win. But sometimes there's rules that say if you eliminate someone, just you yourself, if you eliminate a character from the game, you win. So there's a lot of unique win conditions. It's a lot of fun. This is actually the reprint of a very popular game called Shadowhunters that came out about 10 years ago. It's one that fans have been, playing and enjoying for a long time, but getting copies is super difficult because it was out of print. So it was one of those games that was going for $150 on eBay. So we're now reprinting it at a reasonable price, which I love doing. This one is $19.95, which for the amount of game that you get is just phenomenal. It's a lot of fun. This one has not been released in German yet, so there weren't any pictures on BGG. So this is just the back of the box. But as you can see here, it plays 5 to 8 players, ages 10 up, 30 minutes play time. This one's also going to be available in early September, so pretty soon. Now I'd like to just go over just a couple of key points to summarize the webinar here. First of all, Kosmos Games means top quality that you can trust and really stand behind our games. Adventures of Robin Hood was the Spiel des Jahres nominated game by Michael Menzel, again, very popular designer. Adventure Games: The Grand Hotel Abaddon is the latest addition to our best-selling Choose Your Own Adventure series. Fangs is a reprint of a very popular social deduction party game. And that game again was called Shadow Hunters. Go ahead and look it up online. It's still going for a lot of money, which is crazy. Hopefully that changes. And lastly, I just wanted to reiterate the marketing downloads, which we're offering. Some of the games, we're trying to do this for all of the games, and we'll get to all of them eventually. We don't have them for some of our newest games. Like I don't think we have it for Fangs, and I don't think we have it for the adventure game Grand Hotel Abaddon yet, but we will get them. And there are other games that we do have them for, like Drop It, Bongo, or like a lot of those games we already have this. You can go onto the product page, just go on to thamesandkosmos.com, search for the game that you are looking for the demo sheet, and in that page, there's a download section. That's where you can find it. It's pretty simple. And lastly, my contact email. If you ever need anything, happy to help you. I know that GTS does a great job of fulfilling your requests, but if you ever have any questions, happy to answer them too.
That's exactly what you look like on a Monday morning too, right? Hey, so there was a comment that was made in chat and I just noticed, so I apologize about this. So the SKU for the floor display, I just put that in chat for everyone. It actually sold out Friday. I didn't realize that. Oh. So I apologize about that. So we sold out of it on Friday. We've got more that are going to be on order here shortly for both the Missouri warehouse and the Florida warehouse, which is out of Jacksonville. So if you guys do not order from those warehouses, let me know. We can get some into some of the warehouses that you do. But we want to try and keep that available for everyone. But it looks like we sold 2 on Friday, and that was the sellout to a customer real quick. So we will get those in as fast as humanly possible. There's a couple of things I wanted to kind of bring up, just so everybody knows. I think most everybody knows this has been what I call the year of the moving target. It has just been an extremely challenging year in terms of logistics and operations for a lot of our partners on the publishing side. And availability has been even more important than it has ever been in the past. And Thames and Kosmos has done a tremendous, tremendous job with keeping on task and keeping close to schedule on everything this year. As Tom mentioned, they have a very long pedigree. They're much more than just board games, as you've heard Tom mention a couple of times about him being in the board game piece. They also do STEM toys. They do a lot of science kits, things like that. So they're much, much more than just Exit the Game, as many people may know them just from this call. But they have a very, very strong pedigree and a very strong background, which kind of helps them weather the storm in situations like this. My boss and I actually made a comment, back beginning of the year, that we were very concerned with the shipping crisis, that it would become a case of the big get bigger while the small stay small. And it was just going to be a simple fact that the people who didn't have access to resources or didn't have the relationships with their manufacturers were going to run into some challenges. But with Exit, this is not a game that is printed like 3,000 at a time. I mean, this is boatloads, quite literally. It's been around for a long time now. I want to say is it 6 years now or 5 years now? It's been pretty close to that.
Let's see. It came out in 2017.
Okay, so yeah,
the first year.
It's about 4 years. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it's been a consistent seller for us. Like I've mentioned, Thames and Kosmos is actually, they're one of what we call our power partners, which is our top 10 non-exclusive partners, which is pretty awesome. But they're a company that I feel definitely leans into the brands first, games second, meaning that they don't just make a game and hope that it does really well. They focus it into specific brands and specific lines with what they already have. And it just gives the retailers much more options than having to chase down the next hottest thing, which quite frankly, I've always said is just going to bubble itself up anyway through social media as it is. But, making sure if you're a store that, either carries a small amount of board games, or maybe you thrive and live on board games, these are staple type games to have in your store. The adventure games has kind of tacked onto that and become kind of a similar experience with a different kind of memory to make, so to speak, as I call it. I do call them kind of choose your own adventure board games. That's the way they always make me feel, but they have really cool role playing elements to it and very, very cool story. The other thing too, if you don't know, and this is one of my favorite things about Thames and Kosmos, on the exit and the adventure games, there are, well, actually, for a lot of the other games, there is a companion app that your consumers can download for free. And they have voiceover work for all of the exit games and the adventure games. And it just kind of adds to that ambiance, right? I've had a lot of people talk to me about like the Gloomhaven app and how that adds music and things like that. And things like that just are taking things to another level in terms of your consumers becoming more latched onto that brand and coming back and wanting more. I honestly, I've never showed anybody an exit game where it ends and they don't go, "What's next?" Like they just immediately want to play another one of those games, which is really cool. So there's a lot of really good things to like there. So
Yeah, the app is great. Thanks for bringing that up, Scott. I want to also say it's important for us as a company that our board games can be played without an app. So
yes,
all of them are standalone. You can play them by just using analog rules, but the app is really cool, and the app is great. It makes it just a little bit easier, and it has that background music, which is fun. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
every little thing like that helps. I mean, it's all tools that kind of go into the pitch deck, so to speak, for retailers to be able to promote the games and let consumers know why to buy them and everything, which is good. So awesome. Well, as usual, my friend, you were done in 30 minutes or less. You do a great job of sticking on point, which is awesome. I love that. So retailers, it looks like there's no more questions here, but if you do have additional questions, definitely feel free. You can reach out to Tom directly at the email that he had posted there before. You can also reach out to me at smorris@gtsdistribution.com. Happy to answer any questions you have. Like I mentioned, we will get restocks of that floor display into Missouri and Florida to make sure those are available for you. One of the nicest things about Thames and Kosmos is they're super quick to turn on things like that. So if we ever need something in a day or two, we can pretty much get it pretty quickly from those guys. As long as they have it in stock, we'll make sure to have it in stock, which is important. So but as always, I really appreciate all the retailers taking your time to come and join us and listen in. As a reminder, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment below. Of course, like the video, please share it, please subscribe to the channel so you can learn more about things when we have other people coming on from webinars. But until then, guys, thank you so much. Tom, thank you so much for taking the time, and I hope everyone has a great week in your stores. Take care.
Thanks.